Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to purchase it at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at JazzTime.com. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the IWC Portugieser Perpetual Calendar Edition, 150-year edition, limited to 250 pieces in 5N gold, or also known as rose gold, with a white dial. I will tell you a little bit about the case, bezel, dial, bracelet movement, finally try it on, and give you my thoughts. So let's start with a little of the history. I just tell you, this watch was created in 2018 as part of their 150-year special edition. So IWC celebrated their 150 years in 2018, and as a result, they produced this watch that you see in front of you. There was only 250 pieces. You're looking at one of them, and it was made in rose gold. IWC calls their rose gold 5N gold. I'm not really sure why. I'm sure there's a reason, but at any rate, it is rose gold, and it being a perpetual calendar means that the calendar does not ever need to be reset. I think actually that's not entirely true. It's like every 100 years or something like that. But I'll get into it when I start talking about the specifics of it. At any rate, that's what this watch is. So let's start. Let's start right away with the case. Now, the case is a big, strong 44 millimeter case. It's actually 44.2. Let's call it 44 millimeters. That's pretty much as large of a dress watch as you can get. I have not really seen many dress watches more than 44 millimeters. Now, typical dress watch is somewhere between 40 and 44, and 44 obviously being pretty much the biggest. Now, why would you? I know she makes the biggest one. It's because, well, first of all, IWC is known for making kind of big watches. Their pilot watches, and others are quite big. So there you have it. But 44 millimeters is not too big. You're going to see it when I place it against my wrist, that it's a perfectly fine size. And considering that all that it has to do and does, it should be understandable why it's so big. Okay, so 44 millimeters. Now let's look at so let's place it on its side so you can see the height is 14.9 millimeters. Now that's not terribly thick, it's not too big or too thin. If you take a look at Audemars Piguet, by example, they make a 43 millimeter offshore, which is more or less the same size as this, and it is actually the same size. I think it's 15.2 or 14.9, something around the same thickness. So when you have a bigger watch diameter wise, you kind of also need one a little bit thicker as well, because it needs to be proportional. It can't otherwise it'll look like a pancake. If you have it if the diameter is too big, like 44, and then you have it really ultra thin, like, I don't know, 9 millimeters, it's not going to look proportional. Okay. Anyways, so there you have that. And it is also water resistant to 3 bars. 3 bars means 30 meters. Now, you might think, oh, that's not that much. Well, I really wonder who is actually going to go diving with this watch, especially on a leather strap. So I think that's more than enough. 30 meters is a lot. It's 100 feet. Okay, now let's move on to the dial here. All right, now the dial, it only comes in one variation. It's the white dial that you see here. And I think it's a good variation because it allows the watch to be much more bright and legible. So let's just go through it real quick and take a look what exactly it's coming with. Now you see these 3 subdials. They actually kind of look like a chronograph, but they're actually there for the calendar. Now on the right side, that's the days 1 through 31, and you actually also have a power reserve. Incredibly, this watch has 7-day power reserve. I'm not sure how they do it. I think they probably use 2 barrels. Barrels are things that are used to hold the energy of the watch in a coiled spring, so that as the spring releases, it releases the power to run the watch. And I believe that this watch probably has 2 of them. Otherwise, I don't know how they could get a 7-day power reserve. It's incredible. It's a massive amount of power reserve. Maybe that's also why it's so big. Okay, anyways, the bottom one is the months, January through December. Not hard to understand with the running second hand right there at the bottom. All right, And then on the left hand you have Monday through Friday. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry, that's not a running second hand. It's a running second hand on the 9 o'clock. The Monday through Sunday is on the left hand side. Okay. And then at the very top, you got this moon phase. So pretty cool. Yeah, a very interesting watch. And you actually have, it's actually a perpetual moon phase for both the northern and southern hemisphere. I think that's pretty cool. And look, very interestingly, most watches don't tell you the actual date, but this one, interestingly enough, which I don't know any other watch that does that, you can put the actual date, like 2020, 21, whatever it is. And most watches will have like 1 through 4 because there's a leap year every 4 years. So it'll just do that. But IWC has decided that they're going to go a step beyond that and put the actual year. So 20, 24, 21, whatever it is. So I think it's pretty cool. So this watch pretty much, as long as you keep it on a winder or wear it on your wrist, you never need to set it. It will always be on time and working, except for the times when they need service. That's not very often, you know. Okay, that is the dial. The bezel, not a whole lot to say. It's a dome bezel, and what can I say about that? Not much. Let's move on to the strap here. Now the strap also is, I like the way that they put it on this leather strap. It makes it very classy, elegant, like a dress watch. And they did a great job on the buckle. Now the buckle, as you see, you see the IWC logo cut out like this. But if you open up the buckle, you'll see that the buckle is, it's kind of similar to the Rolex one, but it just looks really nice, and I can feel that it's very nicely done, very smooth and discreet. It pops in and out, and also very secure. So I have to give it definitely 2 thumbs up. Now let's take a look at this movement here. Now, it being a perpetual calendar, you would expect a lot of parts. It has 386 parts, which actually for a perpetual calendar is about right. Somewhere between 300 and 400 parts for a perpetual calendar is about right. AP, Audemars Piguet, uses approximately the same. Has 54 jewels, and the movement number is 52615 caliber. It's actually an IWC manufactured movement, and some things I'll bring to your attention are that the movement itself is quite large. Now, IWC is known for that. Sometimes you see watches that have really small movements. I'm talking to AP, for example. AP is making a perpetual calendar right now, and the movement is very small for the case. You see a big outside ring spacer that makes the watch fit, which in my opinion does not look very good. And I believe IWC will probably update their perpetual calendar very soon with a bigger movement like they have on all their other watches. And IWC has already done that, and they did it with a beautiful cutout rotor. Has this 150 year written on here, and it looks very nice. What can I say? And it fits. Okay, so that's the movement, beautifully done, beautifully executed. Now let's move on finally to my thoughts, and let's wrap this up. Now my thoughts are that for the price, now I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you, oh, it's an amazing watch, you should go buy it, you know, pay $40,000 for it. No, the watch retailed for $45,000 or something like that at the time of its release, which is quite a bit of money. They were giving discounts back then at that time, so I'm sure you can get it for less. But at least that's what it did retail for, around $45,000. And in 2024, when we have this watch, we're selling it for like half that, like in the 20s. For this particular one, I think we're asking like low 20s for it. And we will continue. Even if this one sells, we'll get you another one, and it will definitely be in the 20s. So for a watch that is in the 20s, let's talk about it that way. Because if this watch was 40, 50,000, I'll say no thanks. But this watch is not 40, 50,000, is in the 20s. Now you have my attention, and for what it is, I definitely think it's quite a nice watch. It's a perpetual calendar, which is a complicated watch. It also has a good size. Now, it's not for those who not for everybody, right? Now, I'm 200 pounds, 6 foot tall. I have a 7.5 inch wrist. So now you can see 40 millimeters on me looks just fine. It's not too big. But look, you're going to have a big wrist to wear this. Now, if you have let's say a 7-inch wrist or smaller, I would say this is not really the watch for you. Now, if you have a wrist size a little bit bigger, like myself, it's totally fine. It's a top name. It's not the biggest name. It's still underneath some of the big dogs like Rolex, AP, Patek. But IWC is no small name. It's still a good brand. It has a very nice complication, a beautiful movement, a good sized case, and at the price point of 20,000s, low 20,000s, It's a very nice watch, and I'm definitely going to give it a thumbs up. For those who want to buy this watch, click on the link in the description below to buy it at jazztime.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.